have stumbled upon this. This is fun. So, I don't know who this lady is. I'll just link the video in the channel. I was looking for something else, and I found this, and this should be fun. So apparently Anhedonia is a thing. Now, let the lady speak and say what she has to say for herself, and then we're going to comment.
The join button in the description. But let's get into this video. Anhedonia is the inability to experience pleasure during activities that you used to enjoy. Meaning that if you used to love snowboarding, guilty, but now it just seems like too much work. And even when you get up onto the hill and you just wish you could just go back down and go to bed. And so that's what anhedonia is.
Great still of your face, madam. No, that is not what anhedonia is. Anhedonia is a made-up word. She then goes ahead and explains it, etc. It's just excusing all of this rubbish. Okay. Now, I have no idea what happened. Sometime in the 2000s, I think, 90s, 2000s, that somehow the biggest charlatans that have ever lived, that is to say, psychologists and pseudo-philosophers, sort of like, you know, in the Kant vein, so to speak, or I suppose I should have said Freud, Jung, all of this stuff. I remember reading about it in high school. Anyway, they became astonishingly powerful in setting conceptual and by consequence linguistic trends. There are loads of old colloquial words that exist to describe what this lady is talking about. Basically, falling out of love or interest with something, or aging. Aging will play a part in the phenomenon she's just described, right? I used to play football all the time. Now, not so much. It's the juice is not worth the squeeze. I need to put a lot more effort, and there's a much higher chance of injury as an older man than I had to before, and how quickly I would recover from injury versus how quickly I recover from injury now. There's loads of elements in aging. So just a quick bracket on this, because I'm 40, so I'm halfway through on average, right? I don't yet know how bad it's going to get, but I can tell it's getting pretty bad. Like, there are situations in which, you know, I don't know, one of my children wants to play ball or whatever. I just noticed that I'm jogging after the ball, or I'm walking after the ball, or the ball is slightly higher. I could jump to reach it, I know I can, but I just won't. It's like, it's a psychological thing. You just say, that is effort. That quite literally described what this very evidently middle-aged woman with lots of caking makeup on her face to pretend that she's younger than she is, but her neck betrays her, is saying. So aging plays a part in this, okay? But there's other things as well. For example, being lazy is fairly normal. It's kind of a standard way. It's inertia. It's a physics concept, right? You're not moving, you're not doing anything, you're likely to not move and not do anything. That's it. And we've all experienced that. We used to call that, a long time ago, being bored. And I remember distinctly my parents telling me, well, if you're bored, there's some cleaning to do, there's plenty of stuff to do, so get moving. I was not allowed to be bored in my household, for example. Especially if I would complain about being bored, my mother in particular would get quite irritated with me. Reasonably. There's plenty of things to do, both pleasant and unpleasant equally, to be honest. Right? You could go and watch a documentary to learn something. You could make a video like I am making right now. There are thousands of possibilities. Now, I've been thinking about making sort of a series of reactions, specifically about all of these psychological conditions, from the more obscure ones, like this one, apparently, to the less obscure ones, like ADHD and stuff like that. It is by now so common for people to blame their mental sloth on conditions. I do not know who benefits from this. I don't understand it. It's not clear to me. I mean, one could go down the usual conspiracy theory. Yeah, pharmaceutical companies benefit from this, and the entire medical machinery benefits from this because everybody gets richer. You get more therapy, more services. You get more pharmaceutical stuff like antidepressants and everything like that. I was listening to, I think it was somebody in some video mentioned that an AI like Grok or whatever had stated that 30% of the American population declares being depressed as a default state. That's impossible. Right? Most likely depression is real, right? I'm sure some people have experienced it, that's great. But it is very definitely the case that 30% of the population being depressed is impossible. It's a rare thing. Back in the day, we used to call it, I'm sad right now because of this, or I'm bored, etc. Depressed now kind of is this magical thing that encompasses all of this. I'm kind of going a bit off topic, but that's kind of what I'm thinking about making this series about. But yes, so what is Anhedonia? Anhedonia is an invented term that doesn't describe anything and incorrect, that describes you being lazy or various other phenomena and pathologizes it. It invents your mind is suddenly special. It's not. Everybody has this. Literally every human being who has aged has experienced anhedonia. It's nonsense. It's the reality of life. You are describing something that is so intrinsically default in the life experience that it doesn't merit a word. So I'm sure she's going to offer solutions and all sorts of stuff. Well, here's a solution, which is get busy. Like, it's apparently very common in the modern day for everybody to be bored all the time. I'm never bored. I don't know how people are bored. Get doing something, whatever it is. I don't know, build a table. Your anhedonia will go away real quick. Right? It's complete nonsense. It's justifying laziness. And a lot of these conditions are. And then they justify you dropping stupid amounts of money on therapy, which is anything but. I have never in my life seen a psychologist for any therapy. How have I got this far? It's incredible. Like, because if you now argue that neurodivergency is very underreported, which is argued, neurodivergency is an awful term. It's like climate change. It's too vague. Basically, it means I am special. That's what I'm neurodivergent means. But you are special insofar that everybody is an individual. You're all different. You're going to have some problems and some strengths and some weaknesses in life. It's so unwise to utilize these terms because they justify your unwillingness to act in the face of a problem that you are experiencing, whether external or internal. An internal problem is addressed through introspection. An external problem is addressed, well, usually it's a physical thing. It's addressed in some physical way. I don't know. Not accounting for every sparrow's fall here. Are there people who suffer from psychological issues? Of course. But are you, me, and everybody else, and this lady apparently, suffering from psychological issues? No. You can't turn being alive into an illness. I mean, that's exactly what has happened though. So yeah, anhedonia is rubbish. So go back to snowboarding, I guess, madam. Goodbye.